Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with the free pick in the Cincinnati versus West Virginia college basketball matchup on Saturday, March the 9th, 2024. If you like all the free picks we do at Pick Dawgz, you'll love our premium picks, our best bets. Use the discount code PICK for 15% off. We also have products meant for people who make big bets, people with big bankrolls looking for one-on-one style service. We have these products. They're not available on the website, though. You have to text the number that you see on the screen. So if you make big bets like I do, text that number. But let's get to this one. Cincinnati taking on West Virginia, and for the Bearcats, first year in the Big 12, 17-13 on the season, but just 3-7 straight up in their last 10 games. I think we could look at the Bearcats' schedule, and it's pretty easy to point out these were the winnable games that they let get away from them. And I think that home loss against Oklahoma State was about as bad as it gets for the Cincinnati. That was one that they really had to have. They were a team that was considered kind of a borderline tournament team up until a few weeks ago, but they took a couple of bad losses, and my guess is they're on the outside looking in. Meanwhile, for West Virginia, 9-21 on the season. Of course, Bob Huggins, no longer coaching this team, and I think, the way that all went down certainly upset the apple cart. They certainly have some talented players on this West Virginia team. We've seen these guys fight and grind and do all those kind of good things, but at the end of the day, 9-21 doesn't pay the rent, and neither does 2-8 straight up in your last 10. They are 4-6 against the number in their last 10 games. We saw this team come from way back twice in recent games against Kansas State and against Iowa State. But both those games, they got to the lead after being down over 20 points and were unable to close the deal. Meanwhile, these teams met at the end of January. It was West Virginia getting the win at home as a 4-point dog, winning by 4, 69-65. When we look at the Mountaineers recently, just a lot of losing 4 games in a row, including getting blasted last time out by TCU in a game that I thought that maybe they had a puncher's chance of even pulling the upset at home. Meanwhile, Cincinnati coming off of a 3-point loss at Oklahoma. They were getting 5 in that game, but really they've lost 4 of their last 5 games, including that Oklahoma State game that I mentioned earlier, and of course losses at TCU, at Houston, and where they fought a good fight, but they just couldn't get it across the finish line. I think when we look at West Virginia, it's tough to really say that these numbers are really true. I think that what we've seen from them recently is certainly when their backs have been to the wall, this has been a team that has fought hard down the stretch, and they have some guys that can shoot and that can play. It's not like Bob Huggins left the cupboard bare over there. Cincinnati, I think, when they hired Wes Miller a few years ago, the expectation was just a lot higher than the product that we've seen on the court. And though we know that, going to the Big 12 was certainly a big step up in competition, the offense just hasn't really been there despite the big defensive effort. And to me, if you shoot 68.5% from the free throw line, you're not going anywhere in the Big 12. I think this game is probably going to be a little bit more competitive than what the point spread leads you to believe. I'm going to take West Virginia plus the points, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. They're 100% free, and they'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.